Today we said we were going to be talking about some signage, so wanted to just kind of give away a few little secrets when it comes to signage. Anyway, we found that signs, directional signs, especially something like this, to be really effective for the corners. We've still got a little wind out today too, but we're out here. These are some of the signs that we use with a lot of our customers. I really like these bigger ones as well. This is a 32 by 48 inch sign that we use as a directional, especially on bigger intersections. One of the things you want to make sure with your signage is that it's really simple and easy to read. And everybody knows that, but it's still hard to make a sign that seems like that's simple and easy to read. So we do make the sign simple and easy to read, and we usually stick an arrow on because we found directional signs are one of the most effective ways to advertise this. You know, with the new digital, everybody's wanting to do a lot of the digital media, and there's some great opportunities out there for marketing with digital. But the some of the old methods still work well. We still really believe in directional signage, even directional billboards. And when I say directional, it's a billboard pointing, turn here, that kind of thing. But the signage is one thing that tends to help every other marketing method. Even if you got them through digital, even if you got them through radio, the signage still leads them to the corn maze, and they don't get lost as easily. I'm a big believer in Donald Miller's thing: if you confuse, you lose. And you know, if people get confused a little bit on the way to the maze, you can lose a customer, or at least they're not as anxious there's just a little bit of anxiousness there that you don't want your customers feeling. You want them feeling comfortable when they come to the maze, and you want them feeling like it's a good idea. I was even talking to Chase this morning, and he was like, even when you've got it on GPS, it's still really comforting to see a sign to know that you are still headed in the right direction. So we use a lot of this type of signage. When I did my maze, I used probably 20 of this size, and I stuck them out in all kinds of intersections pointing the way to the maze. And I used like 30 or 40 of the little signs, and I put them everywhere, on fence posts, on power poles. I wanted it so when you started to get close to my maze, you could almost see the next sign down the road a little bit, just to make sure that you knew where you were going. So this is kind of one of our recommendations. We do have these available at thecornmazestore.com, and you can jump on and purchase that. In fact, we're going to give away a package of 10. It's a $60 value, 10 of these. Give us your email, tell us how you will use the signs, and then we're going to select from the people that respond somebody to send out a sign package to. So email us at Sean@cornmazes.com, or excuse me, nope, that was wrong. Email us at Sean@mazeplay.com, and then we'll be sure to get you out a sign package if you're interested in receiving a package of 10 of these, $60 value, 10 of these signs. But anyway, a lot of people have a little bit of issues putting these out. There's some ways that we found that tend to be really effective when it comes to putting the signs out. One of the newest ways that I've come across, this is an electric fence post. These electric fence posts are, you can get them at any of the farm and ranch type stores. It's a plastic post. It's got a step-in thing. We're on hard gravel, so I'm not going to be able to step it in, but it's a step-in thing. You just step it into the dirt, and then it'll hold. It holds pretty good. Then you're asking how well you've got it there. How do you attach? The best way to attach this kind of signage is what we call a lath screw. And so Paige, help me know when I've got, make it easy for people to see.
That's good.
This is a self-tapping lath screw. It's got a big head on it. It holds really well. We found these in high wind situations to be really effective. They call them a lath screw. and we use them all the time to attach signs. So when I go around to a fence post or something like that, I just put a couple lath screws through the sign in the corner, or even sometimes down the middle, put 3 of them down, and it holds even in a high wind situation. A lot of other things we find rip out. The lath screw tends to work pretty well. So we'll take one of these signs, we'll have our post, and we'll just, you can see I'm having a real good time here. Some of the times when you do it live, it's a little more difficult. But we'll just put it over top. Then we'll have a lath screw that we just simply put into the thing and then just screw directly into the post, and it holds really well. 4 lath screws, 2 on each side, will hold a sign like this really well. Again, you can also just put them up to fence posts that are already up, power poles that are already up. The one thing about signage, the other thing that I'd like to point out is there are sign ordinances in a lot of places that will prevent you from putting them out. You need to check your sign ordinances to see what you can and can't do. But when it gets down to that last couple weeks, a lot of times I'll even put them up on weekends, and running out and putting a couple screws in a pole. These are a $6 sign normally, and they're double-sided so they can point either direction. You put them out, even if you lose a sign or two, you've more than paid for the sign. You've made a good return on your money for that weekend, even if you lose it. If you get too obnoxious, you're going to get a letter, and you don't want that. The other big thing that I always advise people is take your signs down the day you're over. Be responsible, and then you'll get to use your signs a little longer. We're all in this for a long-term type situation, so I know when I did my maze, I had a map of where all my signs went out, and the last day before my corn maze was actually done, we ran out, had 2 of us jump, one riding in the back of the pickup and the other just taking signs down, and we had them all down before our corn maze even ended, just because we didn't want any of our neighbors to complain about the signage. Worked really well. Some of you are in areas where you can put up temporary signage just for the weekend, so you'll put them out Friday at 5 after the state employees have gone home, and then take them up before Monday at 8. So you might be looking for a way to do that. I've got another suggestion on the way you can do these signage things. This is an electric fence post. So you'll see they're fiberglass electric fence posts. They bend, they're really flexible. Also like to mount signs with these as well as the other electric fence posts, the plastic ones. These I will take a zip tie, or I will take a bolt wire clip and put around these and bolt to the sign, or a zip tie and put onto the sign and tie them on. And then I'll pound a hole in the ground with a form stake. It's a 1-inch form stake. It's for concrete. You buy them at Home Depot. I'll pound that in the ground. Then I'll pound in a 1/2-inch PVC pipe, and I'll leave that flush. So basically there's a hole in the ground, and then I'll attach these to the sign. Then I can drop these in the ground without driving them in, and then take them back out. So I can use it all season. Every Friday I can drop some posts in the ground, and then I can take them right back up. The nice thing about the fiberglass pole is when the wind starts blowing, they flex and they blow and they give a little bit without actually going down. So that's another way that you can attach the sign. Sometimes I will also take a rebar and drive in the ground, and then take a PVC pipe and drop over that, and then I'll take my screws and screw the sign to the PVC pipe that's over top of the rebar. That's another way that I found that's a really effective way to put out your signs. Again, I don't think you can over-sign when you're doing it. We were just, I made a post just a little bit ago, talked about an event that's a couple months away. I don't know that I would put my signs out before the event, especially on a corn maze where you want to do it year after year. But they have their signs are 200 miles away for this marathon that's coming on. It just shows how effective this method still is, especially for an event like a corn maze. So encourage you. You can have your signs made up. You know, you don't have to buy ours. You can have your own type of signage. But these chloroplast signs, especially directional signage around your maze, letting people know that they're headed the right direction, letting them know the event exists, is a really good way to market your maze. It's one of the best marketing methods you could do. And honestly, I don't see enough mazes doing a good enough job of it. It's just one of those things where you're really going to benefit from it, and it doesn't take all that much work to do it, especially, you know, there's not a lot of cost in a $6 sign, and these posts, the plastic ones, these are about $1.50 a piece, so there's $3. That's less than $10 to have a pretty good sign out, or if you screw it to a post, that's just $6, or, you know, these are less than $1 as well. So those are some good ideas to get yourself a little bit more exposure and make more people feel comfortable that they're headed the right direction to your maze.
Tell us one more time about how one lucky person can win a set of signs.
Okay, yeah, email me at Sean@MazePlay to win a set of 10 of our 18 by 24 inch signs. Tell me how you're going to use them, and then we'll send one lucky person a package of 10 signs out, and hopefully that'll help out with their a little bit. You know, it takes a few more than 10, but it'll help them a little bit with their marketing. And you know, we're all about trying to see how mazes can get more smiles per acre, and part of that's bringing in more people. So good luck, and hope this helps.
Sean@mazeplay.com.